Hey, this is Mathketeer here to show you how to divide radical expressions. When you divide radical expressions, you need to get the radical out of the denominator of the fraction. You do this by multiplying the fraction by the identity of the radical in the denominator. Then you simplify as you would any fraction. I have 6 examples here to help illustrate. Example number 1, we have 4 divided by the square root of 5. So we're going to multiply by the identity of the square root of 5. And we're going to multiply 4 times the square root of 5 over the square root of 5 multiplied by the square root of 5 is the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is equal to 5. So our simplified form of this problem is 4 square root of 5 over 5. For example number 2, we have the square root of 4 over 5 square root of 3. We multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 3 only. The 5 can remain. And we have 4 times 3. We have the square root of 12 over 5 multiplied by 3. We can simplify the square root of 12 to be 2 square root of 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And our answer here is 2 square root of 3 over 15. For problem number 3, we have the square root of 5 over square root of 3. We follow the same procedure, multiply by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. And now we have the square root of 15 over the square root of 9. And the square root of 9 is 3, so we have square root of 15 over 3. For example number 4, square root of 2 divided by 2 square root of 3. Again, we multiply both the top and the bottom by the square root of 3 to get rid of that radical sign in the denominator. The square root of 2 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 6. And now we're in the bottom, we have 2 times the square root of 9. The square root of 9 is equal to 3. And we have square root of 6 over 2 multiplied by 3, which is 6. For example number 5, notice we have variables and exponents under the radical sign. We will need to follow the rules of exponents when simplifying. The problem is the square root of 3x squared y squared divided by 4 times the square root of 5xy cubed. So we multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 5xy cubed. And the bottom, 5xy cubed. 3 times 5 is 15. X squared times x is x cubed. Y squared times y to the third is y to the fifth. Over 4 multiplied by the square root of 25 x squared y to the sixth. So for the top term, we can pull out one x, and we can pull out 2 y's. Y squared, and what we are left under the radical sign is 15xy divided by 4. Now we have the square root of 25, which is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. X squared, we could pull that out, 20x, and we have y to the 6th. For example 6, we have the square root of 15xy divided by 3 times the square root of 10xy cubed. We follow the same procedure and multiply the top and the bottom by 10xy cubed over the square root of 10xy cubed. We multiply 15 times 10 and we get 150 x squared y to the fourth over 3 multiplied by the square root of 100 x squared y to the sixth. we can break down 150 is divisible by 25. So we can write 5, because the square root of 25 is 5. X square root of x squared is x, and y squared, because the square root of y to the 4th is y squared. And we are left with the square root of 6 over 3 multiplied by the square root of 100, which is 30. The square root of 100 is 10, pardon me. 10 times 3 is 30. We have x squared, we pull that out as x, and y to the 6th, the square root of that is y cubed. We can simplify this further. The 5 would cancel out, the x's would cancel out, and we are left with the square root of 6 divided by 6y. Because y squared over y cubed, we leave one y in the bottom, x over x cancels. 5 over 30 is 1 over 6. So when dividing radical expressions, you need to eliminate the radical from the denominator by multiplying the top and the bottom by the identity of the radical denominator, and then simplify as you would any fraction. I am the Mathketeer. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. Let me know what you think.